What if the more you try to impress someone, the less they're actually able to meet you as you are, and in the way that they're actually wanting to connect with you? So often we wonder the implications behind some of our relationships, like what is the meaning of this relationship with this person, or why do they want to be around me, or what's the payoff or benefit around connecting with somebody in my life. And oftentimes some of the tensions that come up in, I think, certain dynamics can often reflect a core belief or a core pattern that we kind of play out again and again, and it's the fact that we're trying to be a certain way for something or someone, or just generally in our lives, be a certain way, come across a certain way, so that we can be perceived in a way that feels good to our identity. And I think the reality is that we have glimpses, and we are starting to remember that the less that we try to impress, the less that we try to perform, the less we try to come across as that we have it all together for somebody, the more that they can connect with that version of us that they're longing to connect with, which is why they're in our field. We hear the terms like soul contracts, or learning lessons in certain relationships, or even certain dynamics in our lives. And I think it's because there's an aspect of those things, a fragment of those things, that's ready to start seeing the real us for who we are. And also so that we can start to see us for who we are. And the best way to do that is mirrored through our connections with other people and other things. So actually, the people that are in our lives, they are ready, and they're wanting to see the real you. That's why they're in your life, not through manipulation necessarily, or getting something out of a certain dynamic. It's because they know on a soul level your essence, and there's a benefit to them for you being in that essence. And some people are willing to wait a very, very long time and go through a very interesting kind of relationship timeline with you, if they're meant to see the real you. And once that happens, it's soul nourishment for you, it's soul nourishment for that other person, and it's a seed anchored into the collective consciousness that it's okay not to be impressive. So it's okay not to have it together. People are craving and crying for some realness. Somebody who doesn't have it together, because it gives them permission to breathe. And in giving yourself the capacity to let somebody see you not at your best, you give yourself space as well to just breathe into the you that is here, showing up as you are right now. So I think that's an important point. So in the context of this message, we realize that it's more about us learning to relate to ourselves in the ways that we know that it is safe to be seen by another person, looking through the eyes of their unique perception, and knowing that it's the willingness to be looked at and to be seen and observed that increases the degree of safety that we can experience in our bodies and in our minds. We start to build the repetition and the awareness that we are safe to be observed, and that the less we put on a show for some situation or some person, that the more we can be okay with who we are as we are, because we're giving somebody the space to kind of see us in the way that they're wanting to really connect and be present with a version of us that we have long since been willing to let any part of us be observed in. So I know that sounds kind of fancy in a way and convoluted in a way, and I think there's space for us to have patience with this process as well, because everything and their mother will come to the surface when we contemplate being seen by another person, when we're willing to put ourselves out there authentically. It could be one of the most exhilarating and freeing channels of awareness that one can step into, and it definitely allows you to confront the aspects of you that have had trouble letting yourself be seen as you are. And to know that that's okay. You'll get there anyway. And the more we can take the plunge, if you want to call it that, and let ourselves learn as we're moving through these different layers of what has felt unstable, the more we can just begin to allow our divine essence to show us the way and lead us to where we are always meant to be. Moving through discomfort is not here so you can learn to take action because you're uncomfortable. It's the capacity to bring your awareness to the fact that you felt the need to show up and overcome something that is actually inviting you to start to let down your guard and know that what you're defending against was never yours to really outmaneuver anyways. It was always here to show you that the things that you feel like you're up against are actually more or less the invitations to start dropping the layers of needing yourself to be any way than who you are right now, and that those what you would call challenges are also waiting to see you show up, not in a way that needs to meet them to move through them, but to show up as you are and let them, in their unwillingness to relent at times, see that you are okay regardless of whether or not you meet yourself in whatever ways that life is calling you to step into. And it's okay if there's fear, it's okay if there's tension, it's okay if there's resistance. You don't need to push through it, and you'll always know the right timing for yourself, and you could always practice just being a little bit kinder to yourself when these things come up. So be gentle with yourself, have fun in the process, and let things be a little bit lighter, and let yourself show yourself how capable you are, even in the moments that seem like like they're hard to really understand or recognize where life is really taking you on your path. So enjoy the journey, have fun. You know that one moment at a time is all you need to start becoming the version of you that you're ready to become. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you very soon in another video. Talk to you then. Take care.